young, entertaining, and saved. I am your host, LaCora Stephens. Now, I know you guys see me over here vibing, and I want you to vibe too. So before we get to the show, enjoy your video of the day.
You write the pages of my life like a famous award-winning playwright. This is your show. See, everything I do is for you. Give up my will, hang up my pride, give you my life. You can take the limelight. I don't need the spotlight at all. No, this is your show. Give up my will, hang up my pride, give you my life. You can take the limelight. I don't need the spotlight at all. No, this is your show. You write the pages of my life like a famous award-winning playwright. You take your time until you're satisfied. You see right through me. You tear down my walls, my impersonations. You work on me in spite of all my imperfections. All that I need is your love. You shower me with grace from above. See, everything I do is for you. How can I live without you? How can I live without you? Give up my will, hang up my pride, give you my life. You can take the limelight. I don't need the spotlight at all. No, this is your show. Give up my will, hang up my pride, give you my life. You can take the limelight. I don't need the spotlight at all. No, this is your show. Sometimes I try to make it seem like I'm totally in control of me, just wasting time, but you already know. You take control. I'm gonna go where you go. You run the show. Now show me where I need to go. Hang up my pride, give you my life. You can take the limelight. I don't need the spotlight at all. No, this is your show. I will hang up my pride, give you my life. You can take the limelight. I don't need the spotlight at all. No, this is your show. Show me where I need to go. You write the pages of my life. See, everything I do is for you. I don't need the spotlight at all. All that I need is your love. Give up my will, hang up my pride, give you my life. You can take the limelight. I don't need the spotlight at all. No, this is your show. Give up my will, hang up my pride, give you my life. You can take the limelight. I don't need the spotlight. Hey, this is your show. This is your show. This is your show.
Michelle Bonillo. Feels good, don't it? Mighty good, ain't it? We're gonna put the focus back on you. Come on, rock soul, baby. Rock soul, baby.
That was a wonderful song, right? Once again, that was Michelle Bonillo, Your Show. Now that we played our song of the day, it's time to get into today's theme, poetry. Since the Yes Show highlights Christian entertainers, we will be talking to some poets today that use their platform to spread God's word. Now, before we talk to them, I had an opportunity to perform in a production written by a poet. It was my first time performing professionally outside of the classroom or in my leisure. The choreo poem Pieces, written by poet Andrea Gotch, very reminiscent for colored girls, was deemed to be a bit risque by some of the audience goers. They disagreed with some of her language of choice, profanity. Now, here to discuss his thoughts on the matter is Robert C. Mitchell, actor and director who was an audience member of the play Pieces. He will join me in a bit of He Say, She Say. Hello, Robert. How are you?
I'm doing very well, LaCora. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for being here.
It's a
Now,
pleasure.
you are an actor-director, yes?
I am.
And you received your degree from where?
Florida A&M University,
Oh.
the Rattlers.
Wonderful school. I went there myself. Now, and you were there at Pieces, the choreo poem.
I was, yes.
And your opinion that we're going to discuss today is not just a regular opinion from an audience member because, as I stated, you have a degree in theater. So you could give me your critique as to why some people will find this as risque. Yes?
Yes, I can.
Now,
Okay.
do you agree that the material was a bit much, or?
Actually, I don't, LaCora. I do not.
Now, let me refresh your memory. There was one particular poem called Fighting Worlds. And in this poem, she mentioned, "Thank you so much for loving me as I am, but for those of you who don't love me as I am, F you."
Yeah, I remember.
It was not censored. She gave the full 4-letter big F word. And you felt that as a Christian, because as I mentioned, she is a Christian poet. That's okay?
Yes.
Defend your case.
Well, first of all, myself, I am a Christian,
Yes.
and I am an actor. And we know in a lot of scripts that we read, we have to use profanity. But that doesn't reflect on my living as a Christian.
Now, let me stop you right there. You
Please.
said that we have to, because I don't have to do anything but die and pay my taxes and serve the good Lord above. But you're telling me that we have to in these scripts that we get.
Well, I would say a lot of time it's required.
Okay. So go ahead with your point.
Well, I would just say that, a lot of times when again, the whole theory of acting is actually portraying something that you're actually not, but that's your job as an actor.
Right.
And the same thing goes with a poet. A lot of times sometimes it's personal stories, but a lot of times they're actually just bringing about stories that have actually happened.
And she did say this was true life, real life. So because it's true life, real life, does it mean that I, as a servant of God, must give it to you raw?
Well, it depends on who you're trying to reach. And I know a lot of people that I talk to, they like it when it's so-called real. And, when you're talking to someone, they like to know that you're really relating to what you're saying. And a lot of times if you're trying to get that message over and you're talking, like this, sometimes it may not reach that person that's not at that level.
And I understand that. But it doesn't mean that I have to go and approach them with a hallelujah, brother, how you doing? God said. It could just be a, hey, how are you? I want to pray for you, something like that. But I recall in her other poem, the opening, she mentioned something to the sense of looking for something to calm my nerves, Swisher sweet, something green, filled with green. So now we all know what she's inferring to, marijuana.
Yes.
So as a Christian, and I'm saying to the masses, people that may not be Christian, and they're seeing this, like, oh, well, she's Christian, she's smoking weed, so cool. I'm down for Christianity. Oh, and she's using profanity? Cool, I'm down. Does that not send a mix?
No, it doesn't, because really, I think it really needs to be brought out what to be a Christian is. And a lot of times that's not to live perfect, LaCora. A lot of times being a Christian means that we do go through things and we do things that we sin daily. But that's why we have to pray, and ask for forgiveness.
Oh,
So
now, no one's saying that you have to be perfect. I'm just saying that do I need to look like the world so much that I'm losing sight of who I'm serving and who I am?
No, you don't. But, one thing I think is important to point out, in this play, there was a lot of serious subject matters. And there was a lot of serious things that was happening to these young ladies.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I don't know about you, LaCora, but a lot of times when you're going down and something is hurting you or something is hurting your health or your physically, a lot of times your first word ain't, oh, thank you, Jesus. No, some other words come out,
Now-
and I'm just trying to keep it real.
He's keeping it real.
Absolutely.
He's keeping it real. Now, let me keep it
Absolutely.
real because,
I'm keeping it real.
now, Robert, now when I stub my toe, and we know I have cute little toes here. If I was to, yes, cute toes. If I was to stub my toe and hurt it, yeah, the first thing that comes out of my mouth is, dang, shoot. not profanity, but you've known me a long time. We've known each other for what, 12 plus years or so?
Yes.
I don't use profanity. Actually, in college, when I did a play to use profanity, my friends kind of laughed at me and said I didn't sound right using it, you know? So I don't know where we stand on this matter, but I would like to invite you to visit my website, LaCoraStephens.com, and tell me your thoughts of the matter. Should you? Should you not? Should you always keep it real, or should you always keep it Christian? Yes, you should keep it Christian if you ask me. Thank you so much, Robert, for being here on the Yes Show. It was a pleasure. I hope you come again, yes?
I will.
Now give me a big yes to the camera. Will you come again?
Yes, I will.
All right. Now, at this time, we're going to go ahead and go to a commercial break. Thank you, guys. That was good.
Can you tell which of these children was not born free? Can you tell which of these children was not born equal? Can you tell which of these children does not deserve to be treated with dignity? We can't either. Human right number one. We are all born free and equal. What are human rights? Find out at youthforhumanrights.org.
There is really only one boy. One girl. One tree. One forest. One deep, dancing ocean. One mountain calling. One handful of sand through our fingers. One endless sky overhead. And one simple way to care for it all. Please visit earthshare.org and learn how the world's leading environmental groups are working together under one name, EarthShare. One environment, one simple way to care for it.
Welcome back to the Yes Show. Before our break, we were discussing the art of poetry and Christians that utilize it as a platform to relay God's message. Today we have two guests, Jasmine N. Colbert and Urith Walker, two young or youthful, entertaining, and saved artists. Thank you guys so much for your presence, for being on the Yes Show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, I'm not sure if I said it correctly. Is it poetry? Is it spoken word, slam poetry, what?
A little bit of both. All of them, actually. It just depends on the venue and what you're trying to do or what you're trying to accomplish or get across. A poet can be one, you can correct me if I'm wrong, one that just reads or conveys their words to an audience. A spoken word poet can be before the mic in another audience, different venue.
Right.
And so forth. Is that right?
Yes, I think poetry is, spoken word is a form of poetry, but one is more concerned with the stage, which is a spoken word performance poet, and then the traditional poet is more concerned with what they're conveying through the page.
Okay.
Spoken word and slam tends to be a little bit more theatrical. They're appealing to your senses. They want to get at your emotions immediately. They only have a few minutes to do it. But with a traditional poem, you have time to read and absorb. So that's some of the differences. So I have a little bit of both. I know Ms. Urith does a little bit of both.
Yes, you do. I've actually have been blessed to see both of you guys put on a show. And let me tell you, you guys are talented, but why poetry? Like, I know you guys, some people, they're content with just writing at their leisure and keeping these moments or publishing a book, as you both are published authors. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
You know, but why poetry? Why not singing? Why not, why? How did it start?
For me, it started at a young age. I would keep a diary. And actually, my first poem that I wrote was in church. It was for church. I had to do a speech, so I wrote my own poem about heaven. And then I didn't really write anymore. And then one day there was a classmate, I was in the 9th grade, and he was trying to write a love letter to this girl that he liked. So he,
I remember
he
those
elicited
days.
my
Yes.
help. So I helped him write this love letter, and so it sort of got me thinking more about, creative writing. And then college is really where I made the turn.
Yeah, because you majored. You have both a degree, your bachelor's degree and a master's
Yes.
degree in English.
In English, yes.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
I know.
She's awesome. I love to experience Jasmine, you know.
I know.
And she's just a phenomenal young woman, and I
Thank you.
applaud her.
She is.
You know, so it's a wonderful thing.
Now
It's a
you
wonderful thing.
too. Now
Well,
don't
yes.
you be on there so humble, both of you guys. You
awesome.
you're both the bomb. Now I've seen, and in case you don't know what the bomb is, it's something good. All right, it is something explosive, because that's what you get when you hear them and witness.
Dunamis power.
Yes,
TNT.
because Miss Urith, let me just talk a little bit about your talent.
Oh my goodness.
What I like about you is that you have this essence to just freestyle, like without any type of hesitation.
It's all God. girl.
How?
It's all God. You know, I don't really know other than to say it is all God. It's sort of like I just tap in, or a couple of my friends said when they would watch me, they said it's like you go to this place. You just, they said something happens in your eyes or something, and then you just go to this place, you know, and it just takes a couple of minutes to sort of like, I'll use the word, excuse me, maybe adjust myself.
Right.
And then I just go there, you know, and it's just awesome.
And how long? You gave me some of your articles from newspapers. You've won awards from poetry, photography. I don't even know what that is. Can you tell me what, poetry, photography is?
Well, actually, what you're speaking of, it was actually a poetry photography contest. It was
Okay.
2 segments, and I won the poetry segment for writing a particular piece, and it was really funny because I didn't know I was the winner. And when I went to, it was at Pasadena City College, and when I went that evening, one of the professors said, well, you're going to come to the awards dinner or whatever. And I said, sure, I'll come. I'm thinking I'm coming to support. So I'm coming because I had actually won first place.
To be honored. Wow, that's good. That's a nice, pleasant surprise.
It was very, very, very nice.
Nice.
Very nice.
Very
So
nice.
that was my experience on that particular evening with the piece I wrote, Remember.
Remember.
And remember has to do with as little black girls getting your hair done.
Oh,
You know, getting it pressed, getting it
yes.
braided.
I
But
remember
used the
those
word,
days.
but I used the word plaited, you know, plaid because, you know, that was what we were accustomed to hearing. So
Yes,
it came
Lord.
from that.
I remember those days. That's why I hate to get my hair pressed. If you don't know what a hair press is, trust me, it's nothing
Google
you're
it.
missing. Google it.
Google it.
Okay? Or go to the Yes Show, LaCoraStephens.com to find out. But now, you guys are Christian.
Yes.
Yes, and so is God's message always spread throughout your writing? Or is it, depending on how you're feeling or what inspires you? How does that work?
Wow. If I may say, his message is always in my writing. People tell me all the time after I'm finished, like, I know that you're a Christian. I can feel the love of God in what you say, how you move. So I think that when you're a true Christian, I have to say that, true Christian, because a lot of people wear the title.
Right.
But when you have a walk with God and a personal relationship with God, then it just oozes out of you in everything. I don't take Christianity and use it here on Sunday, and then I put it down during the rest of the week. So whatever I'm talking about, whoever I'm interacting with, God is in it.
Yes.
So you're going to know when I leave your space
Yes.
that she loves God.
Yes, absolutely, and that's how it should be.
I think for me, I have pieces that are overtly worship or quote unquote Christian related or spiritually related, but then I also have some pieces that are a bit more abstract. But I think who you are on the inside, I pray before I write anything.
Yes.
Oh,
So
wow.
whether it's something to do with social issues or whether it's something to do with spiritual matters, whatever it is, I'm always, led by the Spirit of God, no matter what.
Absolutely.
Whether his name is spoken specifically or not, his spirit, I'll allow his spirit to guide me with whatever I write.
Wow, that's awesome to pray before you write. I
Absolutely.
wouldn't think to do that, but that makes perfectly good
It makes
sense.
good sense.
Now, I know some of you guys are there and you're viewing. Jasmine seems so calm and docile over there. Don't let her fool you.
Don't let her fool you.
Don't let her fool you. Let me tell you, when I saw Jasmine perform,
Oh my God.
now, Jasmine,
Yes, ma'am.
you're electric. You're electrifying. Let me make you understand that. I didn't know what to expect because you're so reserved. Look at her. Look at her. Y'all see over there. She's like this. But no, you
Don't
got
let
on
that
that
fool you.
stage. I know. She not only uses her words and her body. Like I remember you started slapping your thigh while a microphone was going up and down. You had music going in the back. I love that. Is that something that is that like your signature? Is that something that you always want to use in your...
I can't seem to get away from the music. It's not on purpose, but I love music, and even with my new book that I have coming out for my reading, I want to incorporate music, sort of like a soundtrack.
Yeah.
And so I write songs also. So there's music infused in my poetry. So yeah.
And
when
you're
I
a member
perform,
of Vessels.
Vessels in the
Yes.
band,
Vessels in
SCP.
the
Yes,
band.
it's a SCP Inc. music, and Vessels in the band. We sing, and I'm one of the components of that, which
Yes,
is
you
doing
are
poetry.
a strong
Yeah.
component.
Very
Let me
much
say
so.
that.
Very
Okay,
much so.
and then I will say that's a good transition because your book, in your book.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Now, here I was able to view some. Then sings my soul.
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful.
It was singing. It was singing. When I say it was singing, it
You're
was
too
singing.
kind.
No,
You're too
seriously.
kind.
Dismissed. I think that's the very
Yes.
last one.
Yes.
You had one to London, Juice Boy.
Yes.
One to Nia.
Nikayla.
No, Nia.
To Nina.
Nina, that's
Nina.
her name.
Yeah, Nina
It was
Lockhart.
all
Wallace
so
now.
wonderful. Tell us about, and then I'm going to talk to you, Jasmine, about your book because I know this is brand new for you.
Yes,
But
I'm
Miss
excited.
Urith, you've had your book for a little while.
I
How did
have.
it get started for people out there that may have poetry or they have this innate talent,
Right.
but they don't know how to get it started, how to publish a book?
Right. Well,
How?
the Bible talks about writing the vision and making it plain so that you can run with it. So when I was taking classes at PCC, going back to school again, I had been writing for some time, just writing and just kind of typing them up as I write them and put them in a folder. And then one of the students that was in the class with me, they said, so what are you going to do with your poems? And I
Right.
said, well, I'm not really sure. Maybe I'll do a one-woman show or something like that, which I ended up doing. But in the meantime, I just kept writing. So I eventually made a mock book. And I used to carry that book with me in my backpack.
Right.
And again, write the vision. So from that vision of the mock book, and then I even had an idea of what I wanted the cover to look like. And I knew that on my book, I wanted it to have something with singing or the soul or something, because my mother was an organist, pianist, choir director. So I grew up with music.
Right.
And so I had a lot of hymnals and sheets of music, and I kept saying I really wanted to be something with music. And then I also knew my granddaughter, Nikayla, I wanted to have something with the eyes because the eyes are the windows of the soul.
True.
So that worked with Then Sings My Soul.
And so,
So it became a twofer, if you
Right.
will.
okay. And so with your book, thank you, Miss Urith,
You're
and with
welcome.
your book, how did this come about?
Well, the book, I was performing with Vessels. We were doing a concert, and the director, John DeCure, he said, Jazz, why don't you have some poems ready, for people, after the concert. So we tried to put together this booklet, and it didn't quite work out. So I said, well, let me take a look at the work. And I saw, that some of them could have been cleaned up a bit. And as I worked on them, I saw this theme started to form. And that's how the book developed from there, and pieces just kept being added.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, now we only have 2 minutes remaining.
Okay.
So for the youth out there, or for anyone, because this is young, entertaining, and saved, and we are young.
Yes, we are.
Youthful,
Yes, we are.
entertaining, and saved. So how, in 1, 2, 3 steps, because you guys said something, you make a mock, you do something. Now you have it, what are you going to do? So I have it, I'm a
Okay.
student. What do I do?
then I think you need to seek people that have a like mind.
So seek people with like minds.
Yes, surround yourself with those type of people to help you run with the vision.
Okay.
Look for a mentor, professor, someone who's been where you want to go,
Mentor.
who's willing to support you and give you guidance.
Absolutely.
Any one last thing?
Believe in your talent. Believe in what you have to offer.
Absolutely. And know that you're worthy.
Yes.
Let me say that. As we close, I'm a firm believer of confidence. You have to tell yourself over and over again, and you must believe who you are. I know who I am. Nah. Y'all may not know, but I know, and you will know, but confidence is key. So young people, if you have it in you, if you have this talent, whether it is poetry, whether it is singing, as you both have in common,
Yes.
you know, do something with it. Now you have it, now what? Now what?
Now what?
So do something with it. Now, Miss Urith,
Yes, ma'am.
Urith Walker,
Yes,
thank
ma'am.
you so much.
You're more than welcome.
Jasmine
Thank you.
and Colbert.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
you.
I'm going to have their information on my website, LaCoraStephens.com, so that you guys may reach out to them if you have any questions or concerns, or you guys are just simply fans of them. Then please reach out. Once again, I am your host, LaCora Stephens.
Urith Walker.
Jasmine and Colbert.
And this is, can you guys say the yes show with me? You could just say yes. And this is the
Yes Show.
Thank you so much. I'll be seeing you guys again. Yes? Yes. All right. Take care. Brandon back there.